You doing a countdown?
No, I'm not doing a countdown. I only got the default countdown that's pretty stupid. I keep saying I should like record some intro thing like each time and like a little skit or something, but
Yeah, that last one I actually liked it. I just thought it sounded like Cyndi Lauper or whoever.
well, we can just BS right now because it's the right now everybody's getting the hey everybody, a big heads up, some hippie natural food companies having a big sale on their meat sticks right now. Or
What's that?
well, that's don't you ever get right when the live stream started? You always get banned by the stupidest ads. It's always like the same ones of shit that I've never seen before, never want to buy, but they just keep on going.
I don't know. Meat sticks. I might buy some of those.
Oh, oh, hey, we have started. Hello, all things radio. Thanks for joining us. Got myself and Greg doing the monthly live stream, and this month we started thinking about uh, EDC or ideas for communications. Not everybody carries a phone or a radio with them every day or close to everyday basis. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining us. But for those that do, things to consider, and then also things to consider for stuff that everybody carries for communication, like cell phones and whatnot. And then uh, on a semi-related note, holy cow! Talk about a segue. Some people are getting into Meshtastic, and I've even started carrying, or I do carry a Meshtastic device every day. So I'll show you how I go about that. So no real big agenda or presentation. In fact, I was just telling Greg I was in a hurry to leave work today, so I left my work backpack at work, and of course that's where I have my little pouch set up for uh, carrying some supplies to keep my two-way or my ham radio going with me. But that's all right. We'll improvise, and I got some other stuff. So, Greg, what's up with you? Anything new, exciting? I think we talked a little bit before, but the Huntsville Ham Fest is coming up, and you and your brothers are going along with a lot of the regulars. So,
Yeah, no, nothing. Working. Um, Checking out some EDC stuff for your other show for
yep,
sure. So, had some ideas for that, and then,
cool.
but no, nothing new. Nothing going on the YouTubes. You know, our channel hit 1,000 subscribers after how long? 4 years.
Yeah, something like
But you
that.
know, it's pretty good for not putting out a video for one a year. So,
Yeah. Hey, Ken, thanks for joining us. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
oh yeah, there's Ken.
Yep,
What's up, buddy?
cool.
Hope you're doing well, Ken.
Yeah, for sure. I know working with your brother Norm that we're going to try to do some live streams on your channel, some of the more uh, technical side of things. That's a little different than what I primarily focus on. And a few weeks ago,
What's up, Dan?
we did a stream where he was stepping me through how to set up a BBS bulletin board system on a Raspberry Pi for Meshtastic. But I screwed it up and I streamed it on this channel instead of your channel. But we'll probably going to be. I'm trying to get your brother to do more stuff like that because that's kind of fun.
Yeah, well, it's
And
fine. StreamYard's cheap enough to,
yep,
if he wants to do that stuff, we can afford it.
yep, it's fun to do, and we'll do some collab stuff and it'll be fun.
Yeah,
So
maybe eventually do our idea of sending each other, you know, game planning some drinks at a time and do some taste testing
oh
like
yeah,
we once talked about. We could do that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of options, isn't there?
Yeah, as long as you're holding a radio while you're drinking.
This ham radio adjacent. Absolutely. So here I'll just share the picture that I had. It shows a lot of stuff that I was talking about. Um, First off, for what everybody these days carries a smartphone with them, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, or I know a lot of people are getting back to the dumb phones, flip phones, so that they're trying to not be distracted all the time. Um, but we can't. Us ham radio guys always put our thumb down on the radios, but or the cell phones, but they are technically a radio, and they are a fantastic communication device. You can talk to anybody around the world, all different modes, where it's text, voice, email, etc., some encryption, and then all your other stuff. So having a smartphone with you is a smart thing to do. It's kind of our lifeline, so we got to keep that thing going. So as you can see in the top right hand corner of this picture, I have an Anchor battery bank, and you see it's got the magnetic charging that works with my smartphone. So that thing's pretty handy. It's, as you can see, it's relatively small. I keep one in my office backpack. I keep one just like this in another pack I have. USB A and C ports on the sides as well. I think this one's like a 10,000 or 15,000 milliamp hour battery. Pretty inexpensive, uh, easy to carry. I literally have one of those on, pretty much not on me, but in my backpack within arm's reach all the time, except for when I leave my backpack at work. So carrying a small battery bank like that and the chargers you need, I think that's kind of a go-to that most people do. So that's what I want to touch on as a starting point. Whether you want to carry a ham radio with you or a GMRS radio with you all the time, carrying a battery bank for your cell phone is just a smart thing to do these days.
And all that fits in that bag.
Oh yeah, yep,
So with that antenna, do you pop it off or you just fold it around?
yeah. Let me show you that again. Uh, yeah, I on all my handhelds, I I add the whether SMA style connector it has to a BNC adapter, so that way I can quickly change or switch out the antennas or take it off. And this is one of those signal sticks, so that just folds right up and goes right inside that.
So you don't even remove it; you just fold it over.
I remove it. You probably could get away with folding it over, but I just remove it to make it easy.
And what bag is that?
That, let me switch my cameras here somewhat quickly. So here, this is what I had beside here was my wallet, so ignore that. We'll talk about that radio later. Here's another one. It's a handy little thing by Tom Ben, and it works really good for my backpack because my office backpack's a Tom Ben, and it has pockets made specifically for this style of pouch to fit into, so it's very modular. But it's not much different in concept between this and like a Maxpedition pouch or countless others. It's a clamshell design, opens up nice. It has a mesh pocket on this side with two zippers that takes up pretty much the whole thing. So that's great for storing USB cables, coax, or anything else loose like that. Some Velcro loops. This is where I will put that signal stick antenna. Here. allow me to grab one. So you take.
Pardon me while I whip this out.
Yeah, exactly. So you can take this and fold it up like that. I can just, I typically just lay it in here, or I'll run it through these elastics.
Yeah, perfect.
And then, so yeah, that's the, I got a couple of these. They're just really handy to have around. So BNC.
I think you got more than a couple signal sticks.
Yep.
I think.
And then it has two zippered pouches on the side here. So for a radio like this, I can put that in with the antenna, and I can put a spare battery or two inside these pockets typically. And I may have a small length of coax and a roll-up J-pole. You could, the little, I should have been better prepared, but I left my kit at work. But I have one of those roll-up Faraday cloth, yeah, the
Yeah, you said it right.
Yep. So I have that in there, so I could set this up with a Faraday cloth J-pole antenna, a little bit of coax, so I can get extended range. So I have backup power, the radio itself, and two antenna options, which is nice.
Yeah, so they're asking what the radio you got there.
That radio is the B-Tech UV Pro. This is a really great radio. I just got not too long ago.
It's your new favorite, right?
It is my new favorite. In fact, I'm looking at selling the rest of my handhelds and getting another one of these and just have two of these. This thing is pretty sweet.
It's kind of all in one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's your dual band 2 meters, 70 sims. The cool thing about this guy is it has a built-in TNC that's Bluetooth. So if you want to do APRS or WinLink packet, that type of stuff, you can sync this little handheld with your phone or tablet. It has an app for your phone or tablet where you can program it. You can get firmware updates with it. It is really, really awesome.
Is it DMR?
No digital modes on it. It's just analog, but with the built-in TNC, you can sync it to your phone and do, like I said, you can do WinLink and APRS, all that kind of stuff. And then with this, I always used to. You can't really fit the manual. Well, some of your manuals you can fit in here, but I'd at least have some cheat sheets, like some handwritten notes on how to do some of the functions of your handheld that you don't do very often, but just to have them with you. Check these out. They're business card size pieces of aluminum that are black anodized, then laser engraved on it are the basic operations for this radio, how to program the channels, tips for getting the maximum amount of power out of it, and the APRS setup for it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Where'd you get those?
You get those from the Comms channel. He's got a little side hustle where he sells these little cards for a couple different radio brands.
Are they fairly priced?
Yeah, I think they're like $7 each, or you can get two of them for like $12 or something like that. So,
does it come with a set of readers so you can read it?
No, if you're middle aged like me, you gotta do that on your own. No,
those are cool. Like those. I haven't seen those before.
Yeah, he posted a video on that not too long ago, and I thought, dang, that's pretty sweet. So I got those for that.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So that's
video too.
Yep. Then here, I got another kind of a kit. Speaking of digital modes and everything, And this is for I don't need it for this guy, but I need this for like my mobile radio in the truck and my older handhelds, where I have a Digirig Lite TNC, and I have the different cords it takes to plug that into the different radios I have. And then to run that, I have a Android phone that's unlocked. I don't have a cell service plan with this. It's just basically a ruggedized little tablet that's on Android. This thing is from Blackview. I think the Tep Prepper has a series of videos on this, so I got this. The reason why I went with this is it's nice to be able to have WinLink, APRS, JS8 call, that kind of stuff on something very small and compact and not necessarily my phone. And this thing also has a 10,000 milliamp battery for it, so it'll run on its own forever. And I can also use this to charge other devices in the field. So this is like carrying an extra battery bank with me.
Yeah, it looks like a battery bank.
Yeah. So it's a ruggedized Android phone that's basically a battery bank. And I use that for logging, like when I do Parks on the Air. I use this for logging my contacts and stuff. I got hammers and polo on it, so that works out pretty well for that. And of course, I got USB cables and everything for plugging into everything. So that's kind of another little kit.
Very cool.
And also on the phone itself, it's got, since it's just stripped down, not using it as a phone, so I got extra memory. So I got a bunch of PDFs on here where I have the manuals for all my radios for the field. Like the 891, the 706, 705, all that stuff. I have the manuals right on here. And I also have a lot of topographical maps for the different areas I camp and hike at and go around. So all that kind of stuff is right there too. So kind of a handy little package of stuff that fits easily in my backpack, so I go hiking and camping and stuff, or just to have like in the console of my truck, so that way I have some support gear for radio and communications with me at all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yep.
I like that one.
And then this is just my regular wallet. I'm experimenting with this hipster style wallet, mainly just to keep shit from rattling around in my pocket so much, because I always carry a cigarette lighter, a Fisher space pin, and some other miscellaneous stuff. So I just kind of keep it all in here. And then that is where I keep my Meshtastic. I got one of these little sense cap Meshtastic nodes. I know your brother picked up one of these and he has one attached to his backpack that he has for work, but this thing's, if I'm out of the house, I got the node going on in the background here, but if I'm out of the house at work, I have this thing on, and I've actually made a few contacts at work just because somebody passing by my work was on Meshtastic and they saw me. So
pretty cool. And you like to put your wallet in the front pocket, right?
Yeah, because I'm one of those guys that sits on his ass half the day, and I can't have a big old wallet in my back pocket anymore, or else I got sciatica. And I'm trying to carry less and less stuff, so this is my whole wallet plus a bunch of EDC gear. I got a handful of cards, ID cards, that kind of stuff, 2 check cards, And then I got in the other pockets, I got some EDC stuff like dude wipes and just your normal EDC stuff. Dude wipes, band-aids, length of cordage, spare battery for my key fob, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you think it out a little bit more than me. So daily when I go to work, in case I have to, go number 2, I like to have some baby wipes with me, and I just put them in a Ziploc bag, stick them in my back pocket, and then when you sit down in the office chair, your whole back of your pants are just wet because it just squeezes out the moisture. I do it, but I'm like, I could deal with that. So, maybe I should have a separate pack, huh?
Or be like,
And I'm not even joking. That's the real thing. Most of the time, I remember to take them out of my back pocket, put in my front pocket before I sit down. But sometimes I don't.
yeah, you'll learn, or you won't. So yeah, that's basically. I told you this was going to be a short one, so I was hoping we'd have people on the bullshit. But yeah, it's just
Derek, get in here, Derek or Daniel, whoever. But no, I don't need EDC. I'm not into Meshtastic yet.
mm-hmm.
Both of my brothers are, so I'm sure they're going to talk me into it.
Yep.
But no, one thing I could show that I have in here is, I do keep one on a backpack if I go anywhere. Normally, when I go in my vehicle, I have my mobile dual band radio, and then I also keep an HT.
Right.
So that way, I have, if I'm going out or whatever, I could grab the HT if needed.
Yeah. And that's the one thing, people take EDC as a purest thing, is like you have to carry it on you every single day or else it doesn't count. I think EDC in the broader terms of stuff that you have nearby you, and not necessarily every day, but quite often. Such as stuff that you keep in your vehicle, like people keep a flashlight or a roll of toilet paper or some winter jacket or something inside your vehicle.
Are you
Keeping a
messaging
handheld.
Daniel? Derek?
Yep.
Okay. No, so one thing I do is on my packs, I have, better radio pouches I've kept on bags. My favorite one, I don't know, it just the cord on it, it has the rubber cord. It just dry rotted on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was searching around for good. I've showed you this before when I bought it, but I was searching around for good pouches for backpacks or on your belt.
Mm-hmm.
However you want to do it. And then I found a video where somebody was showing these, which are, what this is, AR mag pouch.
Yep.
Right, adjustable. But great idea, works perfect for an HT.
Perfect.
And then it has, this clip that everybody's using now it's adjustable for belt sizes.
Oh, sure.
These pegs. So if you got a 2-inch belt, 1-inch belt, 1.5-inch belt, whatever, it'll fit it. Just close it on top. And some of them, even this one also came with some molly. So if you have, the molly strap, so if you have a bag and you want to keep it on your backpack, you can use the molly straps.
So you just keep it like that in your truck, and then if you need to use a handheld outwards, you just grab it and go.
Yeah, just grab it.
That's EDC carrying the ham radio. If you ask me, how you doing, cool. Daniel?
Good, you?
Not bad. Thanks for hopping on. And Derek,
I opened up my YouTube and I was like, there's Scout75.
Yep, just screwing around. We thought we'd do a quick live stream on ideas for EDC, not necessarily every day, but carrying communications with you, whether it's ham radio or other words, and then what kind of accessories you should have nearby or with you.
That's a hard one. I find it very difficult to like my HT. I'm the worst for that. I never throw it in my car. If I do, I forget the charger. Yeah, I'm not an accessories person. I don't even wear my wedding ring. That's more for safety, but like I don't wear watches or anything. So like me and accessories, it's really hard. So to remember so many times I go somewhere and I'm like, shit, I forgot my HT, you know? And that's the thing I wish that I was more consistent at is bringing my HT when I go on the road somewhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, but even just buy a cheap HT, a Baofeng, keep it in there permanently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say that's one of the things about the Baofeng over the like I have the Yaesu what is it, the FT5. What's the little handheld that came out like 2-3 years ago? 4 years ago maybe? The 5D or something. I forget what it is. With the battery pack is so clunky. It's so like it's big, right? So like where the Baofeng is you know, people are gonna get upset, but you know, the Baofeng is nice and slim, you know?
Yeah.
And so that is a nice feature about it. Forget about all the other issues that people have about them. They are by default a sleek, small body. So.
And you won't cry when it breaks.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? Those things are a little more rugged than people give them credit for. I mean, I've carried one for quite a while and beat the snot of it, and it just keeps working. I mean, I cannot knock a Baofeng really. How about you, Derek? You do a lot with radios for work and stuff. Do you have any tips for people like us to make sure you keep your batteries going or topping things off in the field? Do you carry like a battery bank with or extra batteries, or do you just make sure you get on a routine of charging it?
Mine's usually I'm one of the guys that I like to put my stuff away ready to go. Like if I park my vehicle, gas tank's full. If I go use my batteries, I charge them immediately after I use them and then put them away.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might drive some nuts because, you know, the whole lithium and put them away 70 to 75% or whatever. Who the hell's going to have the time for that?
Yeah, I typically like the lithium batteries that I use for parks on the air and that kind of stuff. I've gotten into the habit of after I do an activation or two, I charge it up full. I don't do I'll charge a certain percent so it'll last a few years longer or a few charge cycles longer. Because then you end up charging it again to top it off before you go out. And for me, I don't, it makes sense to top batteries off at that level for long-term not use. But I don't know if the way I go and how streaky I am with stuff, I don't know if I'm going to do 3 parks on the air activations in the next 3 days, or if I won't do another one for a year and a half. So
well, and batteries are so universal. You never know what you're going to use them for.
Exactly.
Because you might use it to power your comm equipment. Just like last weekend, or was it last weekend or the weekend before, I was up in the mountains camping, and I had my portable water tank up there, and I needed to refill my RV. Well, I had my pump there, I had a pump there, but it was a 120 volt pump, and it was I'll have to drag an extension cord and start a generator up just to run this water pump to transfer 65 gallons of water over. Well, by dumb luck chance, I made this little battery pack deal and granted, it's not the most intrinsically safe thing I've ever done, but I had, you remember that old Miotti battery that I bought a while ago?
Yeah.
Right before I got the EcoWorthy. So I took that battery and I ended up cutting the 12 volt plug off of a 100 watt inverter. Beautiful.
Yep. All things radio, I keep a small battery box that I built in my truck. I don't keep a battery box anymore, but I have a 25 amp hour LiPo battery that's pretty rugged in construction, and it fits perfectly underneath the passenger seat of my truck, so that's pretty much always there. So it works out good for me.
Yeah, and one thing
Yeah.
with radios now is, a lot of them have gone to USB-C rechargeable, which is great to carry around. Just charge it on your truck, or what I mean, your
Yep.
vehicle, whenever you want. But man, I have an ICOM radio that just sits in my pickup truck, and when I take it anywhere, I'm not talking on all the time. I'm talking on my mobile radio if I'm talking for emergencies. I don't think I've charged this battery in 2 years, and it's been in there. I turn it on, it's still showing 3 bars, which is the max. Like, if you're not using it, or if you're just listening and not transmitting all the time, your radio battery's going to last you a long time. They're all good batteries.
But you just brought up a point that I was going to make, and I forgot all about it. Thank you, Greg. And that's back to this latest handheld that I bought. And you're seeing it more and more as the radios will have the USB-C charging on them. And the great thing about this one is the charger's not on the radio itself; it's directly on the battery. So I like that for two reasons. Where if I have, like I said, eventually I'll get a spare battery for this, so I can just switch and go out and fly. But then I can charge that dead battery right away off a power bank or almost anywhere with USB-C. Like the problem that Daniel brought up, where some of them where you have to have the cradle with you, so you either have to have that cradle with you and a wall wart to plug in, or some type of adapter to go to DC with it, or like my Asus, you can charge them with the charging dock, or there's a barrel connector for 12 volt. Then that's yet another connector and another thing that you need to carry along, where almost everybody has a cell phone now or some other thing where it's a flashlight or a headlight or watch, whatever, that's USB-C charging. So you probably already have the cables and the methods to charge something by USB-C. So if you can keep this many of your devices the same charging, it just makes your life so much easier.
What would be the best would be when they create a handheld with wireless charging.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I don't think would it work. Like, wouldn't it interfere? Like, it's essentially it's like an antenna, right?
Yep.
You ever seen those things?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I have some downstairs. I wonder if it would cause interference, cause issues. Probably would.
I don't know.
But I bought some of those pads. You can buy them on Amazon, and you can, like, the little receiving pads for the wireless chargers. I have a couple of those. You have to put a voltage regulator on them, but they're cool. I tested some. Just putting them on one of those pads. It's really neat.
Yeah, check that out. Yeah, I still haven't wireless charged even a cell phone. Still just plug them in.
Well, the reason why I thought about it is, like, yeah, most people have a USB-C cable. I don't, except for in my bedroom, because my kids steal them all the time. And in my car, I have one of those wireless charging, pads. So when I get in my car, I just throw it on there. So even if Shane is so right, it's like everybody's got a USB-C cable. I'm like, yeah, somewhere. Sometimes I'll be in my office. I'll go to do you have a USB? I may have a USB-C cable.
Yeah. I usually when I do the cell charger in my house, I always ask the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like the rest of my family where I have to charge my phone every day. I don't use it very much, so I go 2 or 3 days without having to charge it. And normally, if I do, if I'm here in the shack, I charge it up, or if I'm driving, I charge it up, but never in the house.
Well, it used to be okay, like because half my family had iPhones and the other half had Androids. So we only had to worry about the USB-C cable with two of my kids, but the iPhones now have USB-C as well, right? So now,
Yeah.
now we're 6 people fighting for a charger sometimes.
Well, now we know what to get Daniel for Christmas: a big pack of
Yeah.
gas station USB cables.
Oh,
No,
listen, if
and
you send it to me,
that's one thing I have found out with chargers. Make sure you buy a reputable brand. Just buy, if you have an Apple phone, go ahead and just buy the Apple charger. It's going to last way
Oh, yeah.
longer than just some generic from the gas station or wherever you buy it from.
I will warn you, if anybody sends me a USB charger to my US address, it's a hit and miss if I'll get it. So Shane, the Hammer Yo Clubhouse put the hats up there. The hats, the Hammer Yo Clubhouse hats, and they sent me one, and I got an email from the post office saying, if you don't pick this up by Monday, we will be throwing it away. So I get a 3-month grace period once a package arrives, and I'm pretty bad at it. I barely go.
Kiko has a good point. A small folding solar panels are already USB and could be handy too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, those I have one of those solar. They're a little, maybe a little bit bigger than a cell phone. It's looks like a rugged, a little solar panel that it's a built-in battery for charging stuff, and then it looks
Oh,
like a little brick, and then it's got a light on the end. And I
Yeah, I
thought
got
that
one
thing
of
was my mom bought one of those for me for Christmas a couple of years back. I use it twice and it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the most infuriating thing about those gadgets, those little panels, is that
You're talking about the battery bank?
it's not big. It's the size of a cell phone. It's like a little battery bank with a solar face on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And stopped working. And it's it was a craze. Everybody was buying them. I think a lot of people on the YouTube got them too. And it was just so that's the problem is I think it's a hit and miss for some of those things, like the solar things, where you can buy them on Amazon and stuff for cheap. But I just wouldn't trust it. It's it's either you find the reputable company and just buy it for a little bit more, or you buy the little gizmo that doesn't last.
Yeah, it's probably this thing, which is a battery bank with a solar charger. Actually, I don't even know where the hell this one came from. This isn't the one I was thinking of. But I've never seen. I just found this out there in my barn. But no, I do have some.
It looks similar to that.
Yeah, I know they had some ruggedized ones, and I bought them off Amazon. That had it was orange, and it looked like it was rubber, but I got it, and it was just plastic.
Sure.
And I just got it because they were on sale for a battery bank. But I don't expect this solar panel to be able to charge this thing and then charge my it would probably take 3 days. But
yeah,
that was my point I was going to bring up, was that the solar panels on things like that are almost kind of a satire thing, where if you actually look at the power output of the panel versus the battery bank, Greg's 100% right. A lot of them will take 3 days of good sun days to charge. But I've got one that's got a little triple fold out, but it won't even keep up with the USB-A cord.
Sure.
But it slows the draw. It fills a little bit of the gap, and it makes it go farther. So I mean, in the sense of that, it's good in that sense.
Yeah, it's just not self-sustaining. It's Mike into MAK. Thanks for hopping in. What did you miss? Nothing. We're just BSing about what it takes to everyday carry, or at least often carry some type of communication device, mainly like a handheld, and we talked about supplemental gear for this, such as different antennas, some type of a owner's manual or a cheat sheet to look up stuff, battery packs, extra batteries, and now we're kind of going off on a tangent on just your generic battery banks, the pros and cons of them, specifically the ones that have the built-in solar panels on them. Basically, we're kind of at the conclusion that the little tiny battery banks with a solar panel on it, it's a great concept and it's a novel idea, but is that solar panel really, is the squeeze worth the juice on that? It won't keep up. Like if you're charging your handy talkie or your cell phone, it's not going to keep up with the draw coming out, and which is fine. But is it replenishing enough to make it even worthwhile being there?
Or maybe it's a gateway drug into it. Like it's the you buy the battery pack and then you realize you need the expansion module for the solar array just to charge it. They get you on the Amazon low price battery pack, and then you have to pay for the 5 times X the cost of the solar array.
Right. So then you get the bigger array and stuff.
I wonder if they have expansion mod. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Somebody does, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or we'll make one.
Well,
if you buy 6 of the battery packs and hook them up in parallel, or whatever it is.
I just picture some electronics factory in China that makes everything, and they're going through their inventory and they're like, we have 10,000 of these extra little solar panels. What the heck can we do them with? And we're like, hey, let's just glue them on that battery pack we already make and mark up the price $10. Don't even bother soldering in. Just glue it on the outside of it. We'll sell it.
Just hook it up to a blue LED so it looks like it's charging.
Yep. Just have the power of flashing light. Awesome. There we go.
Well, that's the funniest thing is it barely keeps up, but there's like 4 blue LEDs that flash in a row showing it's charging. And it's like there goes half the power that you're pulling in on that thing is being consumed.
There's probably a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, it's like the lift jacks we use at work. Once it gets down to under 50% power, it beeps constantly to let you know to charge it. And I'm like, well, if it wouldn't beep every 10 seconds, I'd probably get another hour use out of it.
True.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, shit.
But for me, as far as like things are must-haves that I pack a lot of are cables. Like doing communication stuff, I pack oodles and oodles of cables for what I do. I have spares of everything. And the other one is, it only bit me one time, but in this modern day and age with communications equipment, if you forget your laptop charger, you're a little on the screwed side.
Oh, sure. Now, when you say cables, what exactly do you mean?
I have a whole variety. Like I've got a buttload of Ethernet cables in my bag, and then I've got several different variations of serial cables. And usually I pack enough that if I have issues, I can butcher something and make it work.
Sure.
But that, and for me, cold water. That's the other one. I can't do hot water, so I do, or warm, or even been sitting in the truck all day. I went bougie and I got the 12 volt 120 cooler for my work truck.
Yeah. Yes, all things radio. Flashlights definitely count for EDC items. carry a flashlight on my person every day. But yeah, we're going all over the topic on everyday carry items, but yeah, the focus was for communications, keeping your cell phone charged.
Shane, you do the EDC video, you know, on your Scout Life channel.
Mm-hmm.
What, once a month? So check that out.
Yeah, that's.
So do you guys like when you're talking about this EDC stuff that you guys like your everyday carry? Are you like meaning in your vehicle or with you, or like you're actually got this stuff on you?
No, I think there's different levels. So you know, like with radios, when you're going to work or you're going, you know, if I'm going to the store, I'm not carrying a radio. You know, I'm not the old guy that carries a cell phone on his belt and this, you know, multi-tool, and then plus a HT. I just don't carry stuff on my belt like that. But yeah, so you just have it with you in a pack, you know. Like Shane said, he has a backpack he takes into work every day. Or if it's just, you know, in the vicinity, in the parking lot where you work, inside your vehicle. So there's different levels.
Yeah. As far as the true pureness of the term everyday carry, something that I have on me every day, I kind of went through like this little pouch I carry for a backpack for my wallet. Typical wallet stuff in there, a little bit of cash, check cards, ID cards, and whatever. But I also always carry with it a Bic lighter, even though I don't smoke, but it's handy to be able to have a light. I got a Fisher space pen because I always got stuff to write, and I don't always have a pen on me. And then here I have like an extra battery for my key fob for my truck, some cordage, Band-Aids, blister tape, a dude wipe, just all kinds of miscellaneous stuff that I don't use every day, but when you need it, it's really nice to have on you. I got a small screwdriver in there.
It's like a MacGyver kit.
Yeah, kind of a MacGyver kit.
We should
rubber band and a paper clip.
Yeah.
It would be funny to do a EDC kit based on every MacGyver episode. Like, what did he need in that episode?
You're gonna need the good looking locks flowing. You know, the big mullet. Yeah. That's number one.
Okay, here's a quiz question for you. Here's a quiz question. Nobody can Google this. What was MacGyver's first name? And
Angus.
How did you find out? Fuck you. How did you know that? The last or the second to last episode ever of the original series, he met his son.
Yep.
And she said his name is Angus, and he reacted, and because she named him after him. So, yeah.
Which there was a '90s movie called Angus. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
Oh yeah, with the kid from 2.5 Men. No, we talk about the old MacGyver series. The one gun club I belonged to, they always had the big screen TV behind the bar area, and they always had like this classic '80s TV station thing on. You know, like the I don't know why they always had it, but every time I shot on my time, they would have MacGyver episodes on, and I'm watching them. I'm like, man, when I was a little kid, that was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Boy, is it stupid.
Yeah.
Then my other thought was, if I was MacGyver's boss, I would have retired years ago, because every other episode, that poor guy gets beat up and kidnapped, and he has to be rescued by MacGyver. I mean, how many times did that old guy get tied up in a cabin in the woods?
See, the worst part is that not only do we get older and wiser when we watch these things, but technology and society has changed too. So, like, you know, the old Star Trek little pads there are now our iPads. So, you know, it's like it's compounding, where it's like not only is it unrealistic because you're like older and wiser, but it's like you're like, yeah, that's not how that works, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, you're one of us. MacGyver, A-Team, Knight Rider, Magnum, Airwolf. Yeah, Airwolf. I loved all those shows, and then looking back at how bad they are. My favorite was Knight Rider, where it had that 18-wheeler that they'd drop the gate, and then he'd drive the Trans Am into. Then they cut to the scene, and you see him open up the door and get out and walk around and talk to people. And you're like, what is that trailer about 30 feet wide?
I have every season of MacGyver on DVD, and my kids have all watched them, every episode. So I'm proud of that. It's the one legacy that lives on.
Yeah.
I remember, like, with me and my dad, we would watch, what was it? Miami Vice for sure was a big one. I remember he had the soundtrack on tape, so we listened. I'm like, put on Miami Vice, and then we listened to the theme song. And then there was a show called The Equalizer, not the new one that they made with Queen Latifah, but there was The Equalizer from the 80s. It was awesome. And then,
doesn't Denzel Washington also have Equalizer?
Yeah,
I think so.
That was a movie series.
Those are all good.
Yeah.
It's not the same as the 80s show.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Alf and, all the fun stuff, Small Wonder and all that crap you watch as a kid. Now it's just, there's nothing. I don't even think anything comes on TV anymore except the news. I think it's all just streaming.
Well, guys, I got to take off.
Well, thanks for hopping on, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Catching up with you.
Oh, thanks for having me. So we'll talk soon. All right, guys. 73.
Take care. Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care, bud. Well, that was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, so what else do you want to talk more about? 80s television?
Yeah, it's a good one. Maybe we'll start another monthly show.
What's your favorite?
No,
TV?
I think we said all we had to say about it.
As far as like EDC or even like on the communications front, whether it's in your mind, in your skills, carry a plan.
Yes.
Because like right now, kind of have some things going on with work, but it involves a town that's about 50 miles to the east of me, and they're evacuating the whole town because of wildfires.
Okay, that's a good topic. Because if I remember right, I think last episode, Kaiko, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but he suggested that we do a video on having a comms plan, setting up a comms plan. And that's a very good topic to go through. I like that a lot. I just I want to organize that so that we do it pretty good. But like you said, especially in remote areas like where I live and where you live, Derek, if there's a wildfire is a seasonal threat in my area every year. And then besides that, less extreme dangers such as tornadoes can be, but severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, straight line winds, winter blizzards, ice storms, where with very little warning, we could lose power for extended periods of time. there can be a lot of damage with roads washing out, trees, power lines crossing them, people's houses get damaged with down trees. Having a good plan of how to coordinate quickly when normal communications goes away quickly with your family, your friends, your neighbors, and stuff. Having a plan to get organized so that if we need to clear a tree that fell on Greg's roof and we don't have phone coverage and stuff, how do we coordinate? How do we let other people know that there's a road's washed out, that kind of stuff? So having I'm just, all these thoughts running in my head is a lot of that is preparedness and prep work beforehand of not only having a plan of what to do, but looking out, but what to put into that plan, like frequencies to check into, repeaters to use, who to call when, that kind of stuff, rendezvous points, rally points, that kind of stuff.
Well, and even familiarizing yourself with all the apps out there that monitor weather and any other kind of natural disaster, as well as government agencies that monitor for those kind of things. Well, not only that, like the way I found out they were, kudos to the sheriff's office over in that neck of the woods, because like they're really taking and pounding to social media and updating their population. I don't know how they're doing it on the front line for anybody who doesn't participate in that kind of thing, but they're really driving home, like they have the whole area in zones, and they're using the 3 set ready set go on it,
right?
And so we've all been kind of watching that by the hour, just because of the industry I work in. It affects us.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another topic that I'm with my latest radio purchase and how well this thing does APRS. I'm getting interest in the APRS again. And looking on videos that Jason K4MAK has done on like Yak, which is like a mapping software that ties in with APRS.
Yeah, it's offline mapping, right?
Yeah, it's online and offline and stuff, and you can pull in a lot of data into that. And I really want to look into that because if you have that on a laptop, and just the scenarios that we're talking about for storm damage or a fire. Not only you will see where everybody is with an APRS radio, you can add on the computer points on there that you can share via APRS, so you can point out where the fire line is, where water stations are, where first aid stations are, where a bridge is washed out, where a tree is across the road, and kind of coordinate stuff like that. So you could basically have a live action battle map that you share with everybody on your team or your community on doing stuff. I mean, you can do some pretty cool stuff. I guess Derek didn't know how to handle that.
He probably had a kid walk in or something.
I'm guessing the kid needed his attention, but
yeah, that's one thing. So we got to remember that. So that was from it was Kiko, or
yes,
I know I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong or whatever, but he does have some great ideas. That's something just with I know I'm sitting away from my mic, but just communicating with Norm, and we've talked about it, and we never really set up a plan, but just me being in Indiana and being in Texas, ham radio. Hey, what if we can't get through, um, on voice or whatever, then we could go to digital modes,
Mm-hmm.
send a message. We could even do, there's so many options with digital modes, the different ones that you could send a message, even if it's sending a message through a picture, right?
Right.
You're going to be able to get one. So you got to have different, you know, different ways to send a message and have a plan for it. So, hey, this frequency, this mode's on this frequency, this mode's on that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
We'll monitor them all. See if we get something going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but no, that's all I had to say. But
yeah, and then like I said in the beginning, your brother helped me set up that bulletin board system for Meshtastic, which is working wonderful. That back to that comms channel, he's got a bulletin board system that runs on APRS, so that could be really cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to jump off here. It's getting my kids started school today, so getting them to go to bed early and figure it out. So
all right, and Greg messaged us privately Derek messaged us privately that he's dealing with a work deal right now, so we'll probably sign things off.
Okay.
Yep, and we're in 100% agreement with you, Kaiko, that APRS and Meshtastic has a broad and helpful future. For sure. I can go on more, but yeah, you're going to be seeing from my channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on APRS and that kind of stuff. I'm really getting more interested in that now that I have a little different mindset on it. And this handheld that I mentioned has the app that syncs with it with Bluetooth. It will also turn your cell phone into an iGate for APRS. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yep. So more on that. Should we shut her down, boys?
Let's shut her down.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks everybody for hanging out with us for a little over an hour. It was fun, and we'll do it again soon. Next month, September, we'll be doing another live stream here on Scout75 on a topic to be determined, possibly APRS, possibly putting together a comms plan. We'll try to work on something like that. And then in another Wednesday after next one, let me look at a calendar really quick here. A true professional would be prepared with everything he wants to say, but I'm not. Wednesday the 20th, we'll be coming back on the Scout Live channel where we do more EDC stuff, and we'll be talking about, or we'll be doing an unboxing of a multi-tool that Greg talked me into buying, and it just arrived today. It's in the other room, still in the box.
Yeah, budget multi-tool.
Yep, a budget-friendly multi-tool. So we'll be looking into that and doing all that kind of fun stuff. So, alrighty. Have fun.
All right. Thanks for having us, Shane.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, Shane.
Yep. 73, y'all.
See you guys.
73.